I loved Camp Augusta. I would still argue it's the greatest camp experience around. Camp Augusta is just a simpler camp where a lot of the enjoyment comes from just being outdoors and sleeping outdoors.
The time that was the most special to me, I think, is the nights at the campfire, sitting around and singing and talking and telling stories. And there was legends with songs, with curses, like Mandy, which I can't tell you the song because I'll be cursed. But that was a famous favorite one. And nights in the lodge and talent shows.
Oh, I think one of my favorite memories is being in the lodge and being on the stage of the lodge and that magnificent building. It's one of the most beautiful buildings. It has a tremendous feeling about it. And the stage was magnificent. Of course, when I was a little girl, I thought that stage was gigantic. We put on, again, we were full of ourselves. We were all talented and we sang and performed.
Oh, I remember the pageant and I was there over the 4th of July and we had a big pageant, and I remember the CITs and the older girls in their costumes. I just thought their costumes were darling and their skills were great, and I was just very impressed as being one of the younger campers, looking up to the older girls and the canoes and all that festivity.
Well, we did swimming. You had to take the swimming test where you'd get in, and a lot of people wouldn't stay in you had to stay in for 5 minutes or something, and a lot of people couldn't stay in, so they were kept on getting out and getting back in. And if you could, then you could go swimming and boating. And we swam to this rock in the lake. It was called Turtle Rock.
You had to swim out to Turtle Rock, which was probably a quarter of a mile from shore. And one of the things that probably you always wanted to see, but not really, were the actual turtles that were climbing around on Turtle Rock.
The snapping turtles.
The snapping turtles. And you had to do that in order to take a canoe out.
We had to pass tests, and I forget the names, whether you start out as a polywog and then you're something else, since I can't remember all of them, but you graduate into each one, and then into junior life-saving and regular life-saving. You had to really know all of that, a lot of that, before you ever were allowed to start canoeing. Because canoeing if you're not very good, can tip over very quickly, and then you learn how to right the boat and etc. But you definitely test, and that would go for horseback riding or any of that type thing. You'd have to prove yourself before you could go. And I think one of the most, getting back to favorite experiences, and I'm sure everyone has mentioned Fanny Falls.
It was a stream, a natural stream, and the way the rock formation was, the rocks made a long slide. And so you'd start at the top of the little waterfall, and it was gradual enough that you could slide all the way to the bottom.
Well, you would walk down this big hill, and people were like walking really slowly because it was kind of steep.
Well, it was a hike out there. You walked out, and then you got there, and you just slid down the slippery rocks, and I guess probably chewed up your bathing suit. I think you wore cut-off jeans. That was one of the cut-off jeans and cut-off overalls. Otherwise, at night, we would wear our green uniforms, I think, for dinner, and on Sunday we wore white.
Well, we had greenies that we wore every day, and then whiteies, and then on Sundays we'd be in white shorts and white tops. But the greenies were, and that was it. Preserve the spirit to me means have something that you can hang on to and keep always, that it stays and it grows. The spirit is something that stays with you.
Well, I just think of it as a whole. I can't think of a most outstanding thing. I mean, everything from singing around a campfire to saluting a flag.
The whole experience of being with a group.
It's got so much there that makes it really special.
All the counselors are really nice, and some of them are leaving that year, and they're not coming back for a couple 5 years. So
I remember that.
Yeah, me too.
It was like leaving your big sister.
There was a lot of bonding going on there.
Actually, the thing that sticks out in my mind the most, and this is one thing we brought back, is the last night of camp, we'd have a campfire and do the whole ceremony, the ending camp ceremony. And then we'd be emotionally wrecked and go back to bed. And then our counselors would all come around and serenade us as we were falling asleep. And that was the neatest thing.
Follows the close of the day. We thank thee for days and the joy that they bring us, for night and the rest of the year. May we go on believing in this love. It's a valuable spirit that, as I said, it challenges our growth, it challenges our abilities. It keeps us in community, working together. It builds friendships that last forever.
Well, I've always remembered that experience. There it's added to make a richer life for yourself.
I'll see you in the morning, though we must part for tonight. Our love will burn like a light, so it's good night, good night, Camp Augusta.
I think it's cool.
Good night. Day is done.
I remember it as a time that was very free. Lots of time to just spend with friends and do creative things, chat, and sleep under the stars.
Wonderful. So good night. Night! On a lake called Beer, there's a place you should know called Camp Augusta. We love it so we rock and we roll and we're really alive. We're the Camp Augusta campers, we really jive. Oh, boom, boom, diddy-daddy, why don't you? Boom, boom, diddy-daddy, why don't you? Boom, boom, diddy-daddy, why don't you? Camp Augusta, we love you. Boom.